Robert Heffernan, Endotech, exclusively for Pareto token holders and Endotech subscribers. This is Blockchain Vitals. It's our daily show talking cryptos, blockchain assets. I am a master technician now in the Matrix, and this segment is for 21st of June, 2018. It's already the 21st of June in Asia. As you know, it's a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365-day-a-year market, this blockchain. Cryptos never sleep. And, you know, at Endotech, we aim to never sleep, too. That's our long-range goal, never sleeping. When you're interacting with markets, and I've been doing it for 30 years, very important that you know how to not only get in and out of the market, but what are those? What are the methods that you're using? How are you being alerted? Right? Are you using stops? And if you're not using stops, that's a pretty dangerous game to be playing. Or at least alerts for you to see what's going on in the market at any particular time. Very important. And the blockchain continues to evolve with another just incredible headline today. And let's talk about that. Doing the rounds. Doing the rounds, a little segment we do every day, talking things in crypto sphere, what's in the news, who's shaking, what's going on. And we get that from that Endotech homepage under the market analysis, and then right there is the market sentiment. We do every day talking things in crypto sphere, what's in the news, and that's where we get our news from. Anyway, our news, and the news that caught my attention today, and this is great because I have some history with this whole situation, is the Brazil Central Bank, right, is going to use a newly developed blockchain platform that they developed in-house in their own IT department called PEER. And specifically, PEER will allow data exchange between the Brazil Central Bank, the Securities and Exchange Commission of Brazil, the Superintendents of Private Insurance, and the National Pension Fund Authority. All Brazil regulators, and now they're going to use blockchain because they understand how transformational the technology is. And my hat's off to them. But one thing I wanted to talk about that, you know, it gets my mind going is that the genie's kind of out of the bag, in that will societies demand in the future that not only should there be efficiency and transparency in data transfer, and we're seeing it huge in logistics and supply chain, the market is demanding it. But the way this whole thing started, and the reason why the whole thing started, was because of currency and currency manipulation, and central banks in particular being not the best stewards of their financial situation, the country's currency. We still see it daily almost about the U.S.'s displeasure with the Chinese currency and currency manipulation. And I say that I have a little bit of a history here because let's take a look back at that business section in the Chicago Tribune when I was trading the Mexican peso, filling orders, and Brazil, out of the blue, well, they had been trouble, so it wasn't completely out of the blue, but it certainly delivered a shock to the market when overnight they devalued their currency. Now, how does a central bank say that the blockchain is the most secure and efficient way for transferring information among agencies? And at one point does the society say, yeah, well, maybe the blockchain should be used in our currency situation, so that, you know, you see it in Venezuela right now. And I will say this, in consensus this year, the Fed governor from St. Louis, I believe, who was talking, very at least supportive of blockchain technology, and saying that you don't completely solve the issuance problem in blockchain if you can just fork it and then have another whole set of dilutional situation in the currency. But obviously, the blockchain, the whole thing started around central bank manipulation of currency. And so I find it at least, what's the word I'm looking for? Intriguing and ironic that the Brazil central bank, looking to blockchain after they called Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme and a pyramid scheme, looking to use the technology to more securely and efficiently disseminate information among regulators in Brazil. So let's see how this all shakes out. In the meantime, we us here simply trading blockchain assets, simply adding blockchain assets to part of our portfolios, and for myself, looking at them in the same way I analyze Apple stock. And by the way, Apple in the rounds, and I'll say it again right now, the Endotech Apple iPhone app is done, finished, complete, and waiting approval to be launched in the Apple iPhone iStore, Apple Store, App Store, whatever the heck they call it. So look forward to that, having the Endotech.io and myself streaming live on your iPhone. Exciting stuff. But the market's showing some tepid strength here. And for my money, I think everything everything is hinging on what Bitcoin does. All right, there is no decoupling of a grand scale that has happened yet. Therefore, although things are outperforming Bitcoin, and I see, that's evident, until Bitcoin has a sustained and healthy rally, I don't think we can there's no way we're talking bull market yet, for sure. And as I said before, this is these pivot areas where are we coming out of a bear market, and are we going to have a bull market, or is this just a bear market congestion for another huge leg lower? And for me, although I am long, I am not sold on the fact that we are for sure out of the bear market. And we're going to talk those levels again. I will talk these levels until you're blue in the face. But that's how important I think this weekly fractal number is. And, the ability to monitor it and to make sure you do not stay involved if the market can't prove its worth. And it proves its worth through the price action. All right, that's all there is to it. There's nothing else. Rumors don't mean a thing. News stories don't mean a thing if they don't show themselves in the price action. The price is everything. All right, everything is. The whole market decides on the relative value by the price. What's last? What's here? I mean, that's what we would say in a trading pit. What's here? Who's willing to buy? Who's willing to sell at what price? That's all that matters. And all the whispers don't mean a thing. The only thing that matters is when people buy and sell, and that shows up in the price discovery. And therefore, you don't need to see my pretty face in a news item or in the business section of the Chicago Tribune. By the time that hit the stands, the Mexican peso had dropped 30% in a day or something like that. Anyway, let's take the vitals. And taking the vitals, of course, is for actionable trading information. And you need to own Pareto tokens or be an Endotech subscriber to get this part of the show. So please go get yourself an Endotech subscription or buy Pareto tokens in order to view this live actionable trading content available at endotech.io on the Blockchain Vitals sheet. All right, so I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube. Bye, YouTube.